Welcome back, everyone, to the Prepared Mind channel. Today has been a fantastic day for memes for Jesse Smollett. There's some terrific memes going around. I want to thank Chris. I want to thank Jamie. Thanks for thanks for those. It's great. Wow, what an idiot. But speaking of idiots, we've got another one I want to get into some detail on for shit hitting the fan. So, here we are, right? I've got my cigars, right? I like my cigars. I like my alcohol. I'm doing less of everything now for health purposes and because I just don't have the time. Anyways, yeah, there's actually, I believe, a health benefit to sitting down and having a drink and a smoke because you finally get to relax. Life doesn't let us have that. In fact, it just doesn't. But people go, you're addicted to those. You're addicted to those drinks, and that's a dangerous thing, right? Alcoholism, tobaccoism, right? Those are not all that bad, right? Not compared to what I'm going to talk about here. I want to talk about meds and drugs. Now, frequently I bring up you need, for shit it's the fan, food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, along with your means of self-defense. Medicine, medication, right? If you have to have it, you better have a good supply of them. We brought that up in general, right? Prescription medications, get what you can. If there are alternative medicines, maybe you should look into them because they just might be easier to get, right? When shit hits the fan, or maybe get them now and store them. For my purposes, I like to have aspirin around and Tylenol. I don't need all these crazy heavy-duty painkillers. But for people who need, right, prescription painkillers, they are very powerful and they are also addictive. Now, when shit hits the fan, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be on our own. You're going to have yourself, your family, possibly a prepper group. Now, we like to respect each other's privacy, right? Privacy is very important for us to maintain in our lives because we have so little of it left, right? The government snoops on our phones, our computers, and our lives. They know every dollar we spend. In fact, I got another tax paper today, right? The government gets to know what I sold for a loss. I mean, it's just incredible how much the government gets to know. So privacy is important. And they make, the government, that, well, security is more important than your privacy. Well, when shit hits the fan and you've got a group, can you be certain that the members of your group are not hooked on medication painkillers? Right? How do you know your group isn't hooked on meth or crack or fentanyl or cocaine or who knows what? Right? We don't drug test each other. We're supposed to trust each other. But when people are addicted to medication, they tend to feel some shame, some remorse, and they're addicted. They don't want to tell people they've got a problem, right? People, we just don't share that. But when shit hits the fan, it's going to be a big fucking problem, right? There won't be time for intervention. There won't be time for therapy. There won't be time to go down to the methadone clinic, right? You're not going to have that. But my problem with addictions to substance is the way they word it, substance abuse. What happens when people get addicted to a substance and they can no longer get it? I think that's when the abuse really starts. They abuse themselves and they abuse others. They blow money, they'll blow savings. People start committing crimes. And all of this is done, right, in good times. Lights are on, it's nice and warm. Right? Gonna have a nice dinner. But medication is one of those things we can't play games with and shit hits the fan. Right? The problem I see with that is if someone in your group is addicted to pain medication and they can't get more of it, what are they going to do? How is it going to affect them? We need to think about this, and maybe it's you. Maybe you're the one. It doesn't make you a bad person, but it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. You can't just put it off because it's going to rear its ugly head, right? Pain medication is a big one that people get hooked on. You know, and it's not just the suffering that person has to go through. It's what suffering the group is going to go through because of their addiction. Because of their addiction. Are they going to make bad decisions? Is the fact that they're being overwhelmed with pain going to make them inoperable, right? Is that going to affect your defense plan? Is it going to affect their sleep, right? Is it going to make them irritable, angry? Is it going to make them violent, right? Those are questions we need to ask, right? And I've seen the best people get fired because they failed a drug test, because they were taking prescription drugs without a prescription, right? You don't want to fire people in your group. In fact, how can you do that? Can you do it? Will you do it? You know, I say, and this is a strong recommendation, that when shit hits the fan and your group's together, everyone needs to have a come to Jesus moment. It's time to confess whatever problem you have that can affect the rest of the group. It could be that. It could be an estranged secret lover, right? Some guy shows up. Some girl shows up. Holy shit, right? That can cause you a problem, right? Because there's an emotional issue there, and it's been 3 days, shit has hit the fan, and someone's now showing up saying, let me in. Don't you remember me in that one wild night, right? That's just that. That's just emotion. But how about drug, right? Someone says, you know, I forgot to tell everybody, but I'm hooked on this, and now I'm out. I'm going to become a real problem. Huge. Another huge problem is going to be SSRIs, right? Serotonin inhibitors, antidepressants. This country is whacked out of their mind on antidepressants. Whacked out of their mind. Meaning they use them to control their anxiety. And I understand that. But if you don't have that and you're in shit it's the fan, talk about an anxiety multiplier. They're not just going to be a little anxious. They're going to be scared out of their fucking minds. And these are people in your group. So we got I got the email from Master Blaster, who's living the SHTF lifestyle for the last year. And he was saying, take vitamins, right? Take a lot of vitamin C when shit hits the fan because you're going to need to keep your immune system up, right? So people who have anxiety, they better figure out some more naturopathic, homeopathic, vitamin-style remedies. Otherwise, they're going to be a problem. Now I've discussed your prepper group. They're way down here in the corner, right? Everyone else on the rest of the planet has got the same problems, and they're out there. They're out there right now. Not only are they going to have maybe the lights out, maybe no heat, maybe no fuel for their car, maybe no food in the stores, maybe no job because shit has hit the fan. And now they're also going to add to that. They're out of their medications. Whether it's painkillers or SSRIs, the average Joe, and I'm not talking about the criminal, I'm not talking about the homeless, right? I'm not talking about serious drug addicts. I'm talking about people on the street wearing a business suit with a tie, right? Wearing a sports blazer and driving his BMW convertible to work. All of a sudden, this guy becomes a whole nother type of threat. Whole nother type of threat. This guy, this girl, this family, people are going to be making very bad decisions. Not just because shit has hit the fan, but because they're not in their right minds. We are living in a world full of basically drugged up zombies. And it is extremely frightening when you consider the number of people on pain meds, the number of people on SSRIs. Now, I've heard, and this is not scientific, but I've heard that in LA, right, 75% of the people who live in the LA basin are on SSRIs. I don't know if I can believe that number, but even if it's only 10%, that's more believable based on how doctors will prescribe anything to anybody to get them out of their fucking office and get that nice kickback, right? Get that free junket down to Cancun. Anyways, they're out there. What type of decisions are they going to make? Right? They're going to be scared already. They're going to have anxiety from shit hitting the fan, and they're going to have a shortage of medication. They're going to be very erratic. They may appear normal until they get right up on you. They could crack at any time. Everyone seems fine, and then they snap. Just like that. If you've seen it, then you understand it. And we're seeing a lot more of this in YouTube videos. People go to a fast food restaurant, and they go, I want a burger, and I want some onion rings, and I want a Coke, and the person says, look, we're all out of onion rings. And the person loses their shit. I want onion rings, right? They call the police, they tase them. That happens all the time. People get pulled over by police. Police have their body cams, the person sitting in their car, and they just go off on the cop. And the cop, I think cops are on SSRIs as well. So they fucking shoot people or tase them. Right? Well, I was fearing for my life. Are you kidding me? The grandma who took the cigarette out of her mouth and told you to kiss her ass? You're going to shoot her? Right? Well, she was uncooperative and threatened me. Right? People are losing their shit and they fucking snap. Why do you think that is? Why? In my opinion, based on my experience and what I've seen, it's because they're not dealing with reality. Number one, reality. The reality is everyone has a right to life, but in their head, only their life, the nutty person, only their life is important. And so everyone else must sacrifice for them. It's the same mentality our elites have, but it's been adopted by the people now. Road rage, burger rage, right? Traffic ticket rage. I've seen parents lose their shit at sporting events for their kids. Why? And they're not even out of their meds. They just didn't get enough. Or they left them at home. I left my Xanax at home. I'll be fine. And then a ref makes a call that's questionable. And they lose their shit. When shit hits the fan, they're going to have way more reasons to lose their shit. The Xanax supply is going to be gone in like 2 days. People are going to be popping those things like Pez. Right? Done. Done. Drugs and meds when shit hits the fan. Now, I just talked about prescription drugs. Prescription. Let's move on to non-prescription, right? Meth, crack. Now, fentanyl is a prescription drug, but it's being manufactured overseas and shipped here. They just had the largest drug bust ever of fentanyl trying to come across the Mexican border into the U.S. Caught, busted. Those fucking drugs are not making their way to the Walmart pharmacy or the Rite Aid or the CVC or whatever the hell that's, CVS or Walgreens. No. Those are being sold on the street to kids, to adults, to the homeless, whoever can afford them. They're buying them and taking them. Buying them and taking them. Buying them as they have enough money to get them, and then they run out. And then they got to steal. Right, rob, borrow money, steal from their own savings accounts or to buy more. They're going to run out very quickly when shit hits the fan. Right, meth is a problem now. Crack is a problem now. And it's illegal. If the cops catch you with that shit, they're going to baton you, right? Maybe kill you. They're going to tase you. They're going to gas you. They're going to throw your ass in jail. But people want those drugs so bad, they're willing to risk getting thrown in jail. They're willing to risk their families. They're willing to risk their jobs to get them. They're addicted. These are dangerous fucking people. What will they do when shit hits the fan? Right? There's law right now and all the other benefits when they have none of the other benefits of civilization, including law. What is going to stop them from making even worse decisions and taking even worse actions? Nothing. The only thing that's going to protect you is you and your group. And understanding first and foremost that your group has been open about the medications they are taking. Right? These people can't operate without their drugs. They're going to lose their shit. Right? Here comes Bob down the street. I've told him 3 times we don't have any food to give him. Sorry, Bob, we're going to have to send you away. Bob walks up and he pulls a gun on you and fucking shoots you because Bob wants drugs. Bob knows you've got preps. He figures you've got drugs. It doesn't make any sense. But these people don't make any sense when they go into withdrawal, when they're in pain, right? When they have this unquenchable thirst for drugs. Men, women, children. Don't leave out children. And I'm sorry to say this, but children today, they think it's cute to get fucking wasted on their parents' prescription medications. They think it's so cute that they even try non-prescription. Heroin is huge. Fucking kids are junkies now. I'm glad to say that I think my area is relatively safe, or there's a very low percentage of that, but I know they are here. Right? Because of people I know who work at the hospital, people show up, well, you know, I was smoking some weed and someone put some crack in it. Didn't know about it. Whoops. Right? They don't care. They're not smart. Right? Coke showed up. Right? It's ridiculous, you know. People make fun and go, oh, you're addicted to tobacco, John. It's such a bad thing, right? Really? I quit. Hey, look at that. I just quit. Anyways, I've seen people get aggravated because they're out of cigarettes. It's a far cry from what happens when they're out of drugs. It really is. Like I said, people know that when you take meth, you're going to get sallow. You're going to lose all of your body mass. Your teeth are going to fall out of your fucking head. And they do it anyways. They know better, and once they try it, they're hooked, they're done, they're cooked. They'll do anything. Women prostitute themselves for drugs. In fact, that's one of the surest ways to turn some hoe out, right? Get them hooked on drugs and make them into a prostitute. It's fucking sad to say, but what do you think is going on out on those streets? You go to bed at night, well, it's 9, 10, 11 o'clock. You go get in bed and cuddle up, right? Out on the street, people are living the worst types of lives. Why do you need security and shit? It's the fan. It's to stop those people from hurting you and hurting your group. They're out there. It's going to happen. Now, the druggies are out there. They're going to go door to door, house to house, looking for what? I would hazard a guess that they're more interested in going through your medicine cabinet and looking for NyQuil than they are for going through your kitchen and looking for some rice-a-roni. Right? They don't care about food. They are so worried about their next fix. Right? These druggies out here, it is fucked up. But there's another group of people, and I think they represent their own challenge, and that'll be the homeless. Now, I live in an area that gets pretty fucking cold, and we still have homeless people here. Places like LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, everywhere that it's warm basically around, right? Homeless people migrate south. I know I would. Why the hell would I want to be in some place cold where I can freeze to death when I can go be a bum somewhere else, homeless? They do what? They do whatever it takes to survive, and they've learned how to do it. The homeless are living shit it's the fan every day, but they have the benefit of the world around them providing them with water, clothing, shelter, food, right? And then they manage to scrounge up enough drugs, or they sell themselves in prostitution for what? To get their drugs, right? So they get everything they need. They're already living shit it's the fan, and when shit does hit the fan for the rest of us, who is going to be there? Who knows the system? Who knows the games? The homeless. Now, down in LA right now, they're having serious communicable disease breakouts. Because of the homeless population, they are unsanitary. It's sad to say. They're disease-ridden. It's sad to say. They're filthy, smelly, unsanitary, unkept, gross people. And whether they want to be that way or chose to be that way or were forced into that situation, it doesn't take away from an understanding that it's real, regardless of the sadness and it's terrible, and that's the way it is. And they're doing it, and they're showing how quickly disease spreads right now. They're getting dirtier, filthier, and they're increasing in numbers. Now, it's funny, the unemployment is at all-time record lows, it almost seems. Yet it seems we also have all-time record highs of homeless people. And it's starting to create a health crisis in major metropolises because they don't take care of themselves and they don't take care of their waste, right? They're disease-ridden. We're going to have a serious disease outbreak with these people. But they are also drug users and drug takers, right? The more creative, the more intelligent, the more capable homeless are in the drug scene. They may be dealers. They're going to have the same withdrawals. Whether you're a bum or whether you're employed, if you're on prescription medication for pain, they're going to go into withdrawal also. Only I think the homeless are probably a good deal tougher than your buddy Ted down the street who goes to the gym. Because these homeless people are used to living on the street. They're used to living in cold environment. Right at night, it gets down to 40 degrees or 45 degrees. You know, regular people, that's freezing their ass off. For the homeless, they're like, it ain't so bad tonight. Right? Got some toxic waste I'm burning in a burn barrel to keep me warm. They're fine. They're pretty fucking tough. But they're going to be tough people who are resourceful, creative, and are willing to do because they have done anything it takes to survive. Plus, they're having what? Drug withdrawals. So if when people go, I don't know who's going to have it better, rural or urban. I'm telling you right now, the urban place is going to be far worse because of the homeless situation, because of the druggies, because of the entitlement crowds that have figured out the system and they work it, right? Drugs, meds, huge. If you need medication to survive, literally, do your very best. That's all you can do. Stock up, alternative remedies, do your very best. But for people who use them for pain management, and I understand the seriousness of it, and I'm not making fun of anyone, you have to do something. It'll become a factor. It will. And people who are taking the antidepressants, they are ticking time bombs. They're ticking time bombs right now. Like I said, they go off on police and police go off on people, right? They go off on fast foods and road rage at work, right? These people are nuts. Nuts. Wait till they don't have water, power, fuel, food, a house, a job. They will lose their shit. Why do you need to carry an everyday carry weapon, concealed weapon permit? That's why. That is exactly the reason why. Because these people go off. And if you can't get away or run away, you're going to need to protect yourself. And when shit hits the fan, it's going to be the same story, but except there's going to be what? There's going to be a huge multiplying factor. Multiplying factor. Because of shit hits the fan, multiplied by, I'm out of meds, what the fuck? I'm out of drugs, what the fuck? I need my fix, what the fuck? Right? Something to think about, huh? Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Thank you guys for supporting this channel very well. Right? I got my tobacco. I'm just fine. But definitely look into nutritional supplements, look into alternative medicines, and then do your very best to get a good supply of what you need. And then when shit does hit the fan, have that heart-to-heart with your whole group. Okay, who's on drugs? How much do you have? How long will it last? What are the symptoms? What are the withdrawals? Understand it. Know the risks as you get into it. Because if you don't want to be caught off guard in your own group when someone loses their shit. Right? And once again, even in your own group, you've got a stress and anxiety multiplier shit hitting the fan. And even though you've got it way better than everyone else, there's still an awful lot of stress. Awful lot. So do your very best, right? And I'll talk to you again tomorrow when I do the weekly wrap-up. You guys be cool. Semper Fi, Godspeed to all.